Is he a unicorn? Is he a neckbeard? Why not both?
Mama said I could be anything when I grew up, so I decided to be a unicorn.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today, we're diving into r/NeckbeardStories. Actually, it comes from my personal subreddit, r/ReddXReads. It was later posted to r/NeckbeardStories, I think because user GP96 kind of lost hope that I would read his stories, but don't lose hope, okay? I promise, I'm digging back through the archives. I'm doing my best trying to keep up. There was a time where we could keep up, but that time is long past, and I do apologize for that. On an infinite timeline, I will get to all of the stories, 100%. But I also wanted to plug the Zero Charisma podcast that I did with my bros over at the Ruiners.
Mom, this is important to me. We never cancel game night.
God, you sound just like you did when you were 10. It was that tone of voice that made it easy for me to leave, you know?
Wow. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, fucking hell.
Really good stuff. It's a Neckbeard movie, so it is adjacent to my content. I hope that you'll go give those guys a sub. I work with them all the time, honestly. I've done a couple of voices for them in the past. There was Vital in the Sorceress Review.
Hey kids, I just flew in on my magic razzleberry to tell you all about the new Veg Snazzle Frazzleberry Raz flavored flop tarts. Oh yeah, you're gonna like them. Check out my wingspan.
I also played a fat squid monster named Clarissa in, I can't remember the name of the Kung Fu movie, but it was pretty enjoyable.
Ooh, you so smart, Daddy Peace Chicken. Ooh, slap my creamy thighs. Maybe later. Clarissa, attack!
And then on this most recent one, I appeared as myself, as ReddX. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick that link down in the comments, and I hope that you'll check it out. To be clear, no money changed hands or anything. This is just a plug out of the goodness of my heart because I want to help my bros also live the dream. So I appreciate that if you go check it out. But with all that said, I suppose let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Neckbeard Stories cringe. Unibeard, Part 1. Is he a unicorn? Is he a neckbeard? Why not both?
Mama said I could be anything when I grew up, so I decided to be a unicorn.
Hey, hi, user GP96. Been listening to the channel for the past couple of weeks and thought I'd share my tale of Unibeard. Oh yeah, thank you for the contribution. Glad you've been joining us for a little while now. This is 2 months ago now, so I hope you're still hanging around. Who can really say? Honestly, there's nothing too beardy in this part, but if folks are interested, I'll post more, as I lived with Unibeard for a year, and I have some stories to tell. You see what I'm doing here? We got rid of Bourgeois Beard, who was kind of a university beard, and now we're moving into Unibeard. It's still kind of adjacent, same thing-ish. Cast, that's me, your handsome OP. My goodness, I like that confidence. Football, that's dorm mate number 1. A great guy who was really sporty and friendly, joined the American football team, so hence his name. Irish is dorm mate number 2, a lovely girl from Ireland. She was the friendliest to Unibeard out of all of us. Yeah, you know, women got the soft heart sometimes. They're like, oh, I feel bad for him. Also, was this a co-ed dorm or something like that? I find that pretty interesting. We had Baby, that was dorm mate 3, the youngest of us all. Didn't put up with any BS and was also very kind. See, you can be very kind and also have a line in the sand. I like that. That's a good way to live. Rainbow is dorm mate number 4, the more introverted out of all of us. She kept mainly to herself, but had a few run-ins with the beard. Unibeard is, of course, dorm mate number 5, the famed beard from the title. God, that's a giant dorm, isn't it? 6 people living in close proximity. Oh, God bless your little hearts. I don't think I can do it. Anyways, in 2016, I moved away for uni, and I had signed up to live on campus in the dorms. The way it worked was that you got a room to yourself, and you shared a living room / kitchen and 2 bathrooms, which were a shower stall, a sink, and a toilet. Nothing too fancy, gotta keep costs down, even though you're footing the bill for all of it, if this isn't America. And yeah, you had to share these amenities with everyone else on your floor, just kind of keep your fingers crossed that they were able to keep it nice, which, knowing the average college student, I don't think that happened very often. So again, bless your little hearts. They were split up into 6 rooms that had a window, a bed, a wardrobe, a sink, and a desk, leaving a narrow strip between the bed and the desk. Basically a prison cell, but kind of nicer. You can leave whatever you want, so that's the big upside. Each floor had 6 rooms, and there was roughly an even split of men and women. Yeah, I could see how that could get messy in a hurry. But okay, not my circus, not my monkeys, you know what I'm saying? So, the day I moved in was the day that everyone else moved in, as it is. And while I was setting up my room, Unibeard was going around introducing themselves. Wow, an outgoing beard is he. And at first I thought nothing of that. They seemed a little awkward, but I mean, we were all strangers, so I kind of get that. While introducing himself to me, Unibeard mentioned that he was making us all dinner, so we could get to know each other. And that it would be ready for around 6:30ish, I think. And also that it would be mac and cheese. Oh yeah, gourmet dinner. I mean, I'll never turn down a free meal. But if you're going out on a limb trying to impress, I don't think mac and cheese is it, bro. Unless you cut up hot dogs in it. Oh, that is lower middle class ambrosia. I was excited because, I mean, who doesn't love mac and cheese? And it would be a good chance to meet everyone else on my floor, so I finished unpacking and said goodbye to my friends and parents and got all settled into my new room. Well, I'm excited that OP's excited for the mac and cheese, but you don't really go for the mac and cheese, you go to meet everybody else on the floor. So it's a good opportunity for socialization. I encourage this, especially if you gotta live around these mugs for the next few months. I sat and I watched YouTube until around 6, and then I left to go to the kitchen and see if anybody else was there. And they all were there. So I made introductions and I met Baby, Football, Rainbow, and Irish, and we all started to get to know each other. We all saw that the oven was on and the promised food was being cooked, so we all relaxed and just continued chatting. Offer to help before the beard starts to play the victim. My pro tip. Then Unibeard came into the room and introduced themselves to everyone properly, and we all just chilled out together until the food was ready. The food came out, and we were all excited to try it, and oh boy, we were in for a surprise. It's gonna be like Naruto headband. He's like, it's garbage. I'm just gonna eat it all because it's total trash that I made. As I'm sure you know, mac and cheese is a very simple dish to make, particularly when it's boxed. And the only way to make it really fancy is to put like some bacon or onion into it. Unibeard somehow magically managed to make it bad. He dumped a whole lot of mustard powder into it, and all you could taste was mustard.
Peggy, that's the recipe for mustard gas.
Come on down, have a big plate of mustard noodles. That sounds delicious. Thank you so much. Oh, that's hilarious, dude. We all glanced at each other when Unibeard turned his back, but we did finish it out of politeness. Damn that social contract. Because we didn't want to upset him in front of what were a group of strangers when he had tried to cook for us. I guess it's a nice offer, but why not just do something you know how to do 100%? Break out the Hot Pockets or something like that. I'd much prefer something edible, thank you. Later that night, we all went out drinking and made our way to bed far later than we probably should have. The next day, a bunch of them, I think Irish Baby and Unibeard, all went out into the city while Football and I stayed behind to get to know the campus better. We ended up talking in his room for a bit. We both liked the same books and video games, as it turned out, and we went into the kitchen to grab lunch. And that is when we were confronted with the smell. Unibeard had left his mac and cheese and all of the dirty dishes out overnight. And as none of us had thought to open any windows in the kitchen, the whole place began to stink of mustard. It took me and Football about half an hour to tidy up and then get lunch, just in time for the group that had left to come back. And that's where I'll end this chapter of the Unibeard tale. If you want to hear any more, let me know. I'll try to get the next part out pretty soon. And there are 5 parts so far, teetering on a 6, so it's probably going to be a 2-video affair here. And I feel kind of bad for Unibeard, because not only did he completely screw up the cooking, but nobody offered to help him in any way. They're not like, oh, let us clean the dishes for you since you cooked the meal, which is usually how it's supposed to go. So despite eating a plate full of mustard noodles, they violated the more important part of the social contract, I would argue, and that is assisting in the cleanup process. So yeah, I wouldn't say that Unibeard is too beardy as of yet, but OP did say that in the first sentence. He's not too beardy in this part, so let's jump into the next part and see just how much worse things can get. Unibeard, part number 2. He's not a unicorn. He just goes to university and is also a neckbeard. What if he's a unicorn neckbeard that goes to university? Nah, that's impossible, John Travolta. What you talking about? Whatever, I ain't gotta listen to you. You're not my real dad.
You're not my dad!
I think ReddX is losing it. So we'll jump into the story. Hey, GP96. Back again with part 2 of my beard story, or stories, as there were just many little events that occurred over the year that I lived with Unibeard. If you missed part 1, here's a link for you. Don't need any link to the video because it's in this video, right? Content warning for this story as well. Possible sexual assault. Oh god, dude. Why every time? Because neckbeards, I guess. That's why. Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. We got the cast list. It looks relatively the same, so we're going to go ahead and browse over that. And for this entry, we've also got Unibeard's friend. So one thing that I forgot to mention in part 1 was that Unibeard was trans. I kind of got that vibe from you saying they, but I didn't want to make too many presumptions. He was female to male, but tended to present very feminine, and I should also mention that I'm a bisexual male presenting NB. This is info that is needed for this story. NB is non-binary, for those not quite in the know. So we'd all been living together for about a month or so now, and friendships had been made. Mainly me, Football, Baby, and Irish. We didn't see much of Rainbow, as she tended to spend her time in her room, but she and I got on fairly well when we did see her, and Unibeard, of course, spent most of his time in his room as well. Yeah, that's to be expected, I think. Most beards prefer to just stay in their nest, which is good for society at large. But we decided to have a Halloween party, as it would be a good way to have some fun with the rest of the people in our building. The party was indeed good fun, and that day, Unibeard had brought his friend up to our university, and his friend spent the night sleeping in Unibeard's room. During the party, the two had gotten very drunk, with Unibeard's friend eventually throwing up somewheres, but luckily everyone else had gone out clubbing, so it was just me, the beard, and his friend remaining. I felt bad for his friend, so I stayed up to chat with him. Yeah, chatting with drunk people, you don't have to do that, but I guess it's a good gesture or something. Now, I'll admit at the time I was still terrible at flirting, still am even to this day, and I was very bad at knowing if someone was flirting with me. Again, even to this day, I'd prefer it if someone just grabbed me by the shoulders and yelled, saying when they were into me, rather than the more subtle flirting. Well, that's a breach of the societal contract. You just gotta practice, that's all.
Why does she have hair in her mouth?
The reason I bring this up is because I think Unibeard and his friend thought that me being nice to them was me flirting with them, and they started making lewd comments. Thinking that they were just joking, I laughed it off and eventually went to bed. No, it's not joking, they're testing the waters, okay? Lewd comments are never actually a joke. It's like a subtle pushing of the envelope, especially when you're dealing with neckbeards. You should have nipped that right in the bud, been like, well, okay, I feel unwelcome now, I'm leaving. Go make out with each other or something. Now, when I was a kid, my bedroom door got jammed, and we had to break the handle to get me out. My parents didn't really think to fix it because the door would still close. Oh, God, that is the smallest brain time. Not just the breaking of the door, but also the it still works. I don't mean to dunk on OP's parents, but holy heck, that is funny. Because of that, when I moved into my door and saw that the door locked from the inside, I was so excited to have a door that properly worked. Can I call child services over that? I guess not. But yes, as a parent, please give your kids a freaking door that locks. They deserve some privacy. They're humans.
Hey, Jimmy. Just wanted to say sweet dreams.
Yeah, sweet dreams. Good night, Mom.
So I then would lock that door every night when I went to bed just to give myself some added privacy while I would change and do my bedtime routine. Well, as I was getting ready for bed and was half dressed, my door handle began to violently shake. Oh my God. And I started to panic as it was only me in there. Unibeard and his friend were in the dorm that night, and while they may have just meant it as a joke, going on what they had been talking about 5 minutes ago, I wouldn't have put it past either of them, or maybe just one of them, wanting to get a bit more friendly with me than we had been before. Scream, pick up a weapon, do something, do not let them get away with it. I stood there, frozen, shirtless, and worried, and it took me maybe 5 minutes or so after it had stopped to finish getting changed. Deer in the headlights, man. Got into bed, grabbed my tablet to watch some classic Simpsons to unwind from what the hell had just happened. Next time I'll get into Unibeard's stench, mess, and peculiar habits if folks want to hear more about what happened. Holy hell, so you never found out if it was Unibeard or his friend? I'm so uncomfortable with any of this. Thank God your door locks. What the hell? Who would even think that that's acceptable at all? Even as a joke. Like, haha, you're gonna get sexually assaulted. What a great joke. Fucking weirdos. Oh my God, dude. That is definitely some unacceptable beardy behavior. And honestly, stuff like this is why I give basically everybody a wide berth. Okay, you stayed to chat because you felt bad for them. They don't deserve any pity, can't you see? Leave them both to rot all alone, as far as I'm concerned. Well, I guess let's get into the third part, wrap this video up, and we'll talk about what I presume to be Unibeard's mustard scent. Does he still smell like mustard? I guess we'll see. Unibeard Part 3, a bigot house guest, and pizza theft. Pizza time, but not because the pizza got stolen.
Whoa! He stole that guy's pizza!
Hey! Hi for the third time, GP96. I wanted to post the next part of my Unibeard story, and if you missed part 2, here is the link. And also, here's the cast list, which remains relatively unchanged except for 2 new characters in this story. We've got Guinness, who was Irish's boyfriend from back home and would visit every now and then, and Club Girl, who unfortunately ended up meeting Unibeard while clubbing. Also, trigger warning for transphobia in this entry, which unfortunately is something we've kind of come to expect part and parcel with Neckbeards, but I do appreciate you laying it down flat up front. So this entry is a mix of 2 stories. one of which happened before the accursed door-jiggling Halloween party in the last part, and one that happened a few months later. So every couple of months, Guinness would come and visit Irish, and he'd stay for a week or so. Now, I didn't really like him, as he would come in and act as if he owned the place despite not even living there. One time he came out of Irish's room, clearly after they had sex, shirtless, and he dragged the table into the middle of the room to eat pizza while me and Football were chatting about anime. Are we not allowed to touch the tables? Is that not okay? I wasn't aware of that. He's just making himself comfortable, you know? Just busted a nut. He wants to kick his feet up and eat some pizza. What do you want? I kinda get it, I have to admit. And he would never tell anyone when he was coming, as he wanted to surprise Irish. Yeah, that's the part I don't think I could get behind. I frigging hate surprise visitors. However, given how small our place was, of course, this surprise visit was always a real pain in the ass, as he ended up taking space that we simply didn't have, and it meant that we all had to adjust our schedules more or less on a whim. I have to question if anybody even ever talked to him about this, because really, a conversation could change everything, but instead everybody wants to be passive-aggressive and like, ugh, look at this guy putting his feet up eating pizza. I hate him. And then you pass him in the hall and you're like, hi, everything's fine. How is he ever gonna know? He acted like he owned the place because nobody told him that he didn't. So yeah, nip that in the bud as well. Now, we knew the first time that he was coming up, as Irish wanted to make sure that it was okay with all of us first, as we were all more or less still strangers to each other at this point. That's the disadvantage of making friends, isn't it? You get comfortable, everything falls apart. So, Guinness comes over to visit, and we spend the night sitting in the living room / kitchen area, just chatting and goofing around, when Unibeard came out of his room to get a drink and spend some time with us. At some point during the conversation, the fact that Unibeard was trans came up, and this, for some reason, set Guinness off. Oh boy, on the first visit, bro, you're not welcome back here, okay? You don't even live here. How about you mind your manners and keep your fucking mouth shut? He didn't believe that the transgender was a thing, and that people who are trans are mentally ill. At one point, he even tried the attack helicopter gender meme. And I did really feel bad for Unibeard during this, and I did defend the beard because Guinness was way out of line. Whenever Guinness would come back, Unibeard would stay the hell out of his way, and to be honest, I did the same. No, you don't stay out of this guy's way. You stand in his way. And you say, you know what? Last time, it wasn't cool what you said. We're not comfortable with you being back here. Go get a hotel. Then he tries to bro up, and I mean, if you gotta punch him in the mouth, then you gotta punch him in the mouth. But I guarantee he's not gonna come back. Ooh, I can't believe everybody just stood by for this. What the actual hell? That is what makes people think that it's okay to say things like this, is people being intimidated and just being like, haha, yeah, great meme, bro. Except it's not a great meme. You're invalidating the experience of another human being, and that should never be okay. I would stand up every time that I see this. Got the impotent rage going a little bit there. So far, I've gotten more mad at Guinness than basically anybody else in the story. I mean, Unibeard, he is a creep, but it might have been his friend that was the door jiggler, you know? I don't know, dude. I hate social situations. Let's just say that. So now, we'll get into the next story, which is a tale of a most heinous theft. Don't take my pizza again. You're gonna get punched in the mouth. So, a few months after Guinness came home, Baby turned 18. And as she was the youngest of us, we decided to go out clubbing to celebrate. Oh man. Your worst introduction into the adult world. Or more accurately, the world of like suspended adolescence. So the six of us spent the night pre-gaming and playing Cards Against Humanity, and then we left for the club. We spent a couple of hours there, having a good time and getting very, very drunk. Now, unlike most beards that you might have read about on here, Unibeard legitimately had game. and had brought many men and women back to his room for fun times. And this night was much like the others. So we all get home and see Unibeard and Club Girl sitting in the kitchen making out. They stopped when we came in, and we all ordered some food and continued drinking while we waited. I had ordered a Domino's pizza and some garlic bread. Alright, I want to be clear who ponied up the money for that. Because if it's only your pizza, I'm taking it into only my room. Yes, I smashed a large pizza. No, I don't feel bad about it. Unibeard and Club Girl started making out again, violating that social contract as always. Why don't you go to your room, you guys? And the rest of us all decided, we should just go out for a walk. As we wanted to keep the party going, but didn't want to watch them going at it. Again, open conversation. Just tell them straight up. Go to your room if you're gonna do that shit. My food came, and I dropped it on the kitchen table. Well, there's your problem. Hey, this food's for everybody, right? No, lock it in your room. It's fine. I did grab a slice and some garlic bread before I left to join the others. On my way out, I said that they could help themselves to a slice if they wanted, and out I went. Oh, bro. Couple of drunk people, and you're like, yeah, just have a little bit of pizza. You think drunk people are only gonna have a little bit of pizza? That's not how it goes. Get a couple of beers in me, I'll smash a large pizza. Probably don't even need the beers, to be honest. So we were gone maybe an hour or so, just walking around the campus and shooting the shit before heading back to our dorm. When we got back, we saw that Unibeard and Club Girl had left for his room, which was of course a disgusting den of filth, damp, and the smell of must and baby gravy. As most beard nests are, I suppose. What's the baby gravy about? I guess he's getting it from some donors from the club or something. I went to grab my pizza to enjoy some classic Simpsons again before passing out in bed. And that, dear reader, is when I entered a crime scene. Now you kick the door in and say, hey, give me my $20, you worthless turd, you ate all my pizza. Lying on the floor in a mix of clothes and shoes was the empty, broken, greasy, discarded box that had once homed my delicious meat feast pizza. Oh, God, a tragedy. You hate to see stuff like this. The job is rough, but this is always a rough scene to stumble upon. I saw red, and I went and started pounding on Unibeard's door. Good for you. I wanted answers and satisfaction for the crime that I was a victim of. However, either Unibeard had passed out after getting down and dirty with Club Girl, or he was ignoring me. Your pick. 100% ignoring. There's two people in there. You know one of them woke up at somebody pounding on the door. As long as you were legitimately pounding, I would have been screaming with rage. Give me my $20! And then everybody thinks I'm crazy. But you know what? I'm crazy for pizza. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Don't mess with my pie, son. The next morning, I sent Unibeard a photo of the box and asked what the hell had happened. A few hours later, after I had napped and showered the night before off, I found a package waiting for me on the counter. It was a 1-pound frozen pizza from the on-campus supermarket and a post-it note saying, sorry. Yeah, that's a good start. You owe me 19 more of these, you worthless lump. Do not let it drop there, OP. Hold him accountable for his actions. I picked up the frozen pizza, opened the bin, and let it join the remnants of my stolen pizza. You let him get away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. Anyways, this has gone on long enough. I hope that you enjoyed this tale. Next time I'll get into Unibeard's bizarre hygiene and spending habits. Until next time, stay safe and stay good looking. Hell yeah, you know me, son. Gotta keep the face nice. That's the money maker. Even though I don't put my face on camera anymore. You know what I'm talking about. I thought we were going to get into his hygiene and whatnot in this part, but I guess OP decided against it, which is fine. I am a little bit slightly annoyed at the passivity of everybody involved, but then I figure out that they're, I think British, English, and that explains quite a little bit. Like, Americans, they're not gonna let this fly. Americans are the quickest to complain out of any country ever. And personally, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to get what I want. It doesn't matter. I said you could have one slice of pizza and you will be held accountable. So give me the $20 or I guess $18 since I invited you to take one slice. And then we could just pretend this whole thing never happened. But I will never forget. From now on, I will lock my pizza in my room every time. And people might think I'm weird for it, but you know what? When I get home, I'm gonna have some hot, greasy, delicious pizza. Guaranteed. So yeah, I still dislike Guinness out of everybody in this story, but Unibeard is quite a specimen himself, you know? Not exactly the most socially acceptable person to be hanging around. And maybe that's good, just leave him in his room. He don't want to hang out with me? Guess what? I don't want to hang out with him either. No big deal. Just because we live on the same floor in a dorm doesn't mean we have to be the best of friends. Then again, I'm probably the kind of guy that would lock myself in my room as well, so... They'd be like, what were you screaming about at the top of your lungs? And I'd be like, I was recording a YouTube video. Leave me alone, John Travolta. Why does your voice keep popping up here? Damn, dude. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. I think we got one more part if OP's telling the truth about there being 6 parts. But even if there's, 4 more parts, I'll just shove it all into one video and it should go relatively fine, right? I was considering putting all of the parts into this video and making a full compilation in one single day, but it seems like all the parts aren't up quite yet. So we're waiting on a little more Unibeard, and of course, thank you for sharing user GP96 with the underscore at the end. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share it around if you should like. It's a pretty acceptable one to share around, I do think. We've also got a bunch of links down in the description and the comments, if I did it correctly. We've got plugs of all sorts. My Amazon affiliate link, my podcast, mine and my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. We've got playlists if you're looking for a different flavor from the channel. And of course, my podcasts, we are everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Podchaser, Deezer, all this other stuff I never heard of. But yeah, I'm there. What do you want? We've also got my social medias, of course, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Hey, come on through, say hello. I'd be glad to see you. We've also got my Patreon, of course, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I'd like to thank them, as I do every episode, Jerry much. So thank you, Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Conrad Ingy. Hello, Mr. ReddX, sir. I'm still in the secure containment unit at ReddX Industries. I have 2 negative tests, but they won't let me leave. Welcome to the new normal. I'm sorry. This is how it has to be. Captain Cloud Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Sarah Wano Edge, Cinnamon Susie, For Old Lang Sign, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Are You Rary, Tip Tat. I know it's the most different Jerry spelling backwards, but isn't it more fun to say it or try say it? We also got Jari the Pirate, Arr, Silent Revolver, the original Jerry, Jerry's Kitsune, Matthew Simmons, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, a Jerry of Jubilantly Juggling Jerry. Oh God, what are you doing to me? And a Justy Jargonia Jerry, Alunia, Althea, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric. Aurora, Wildheart, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch over that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blame This Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, Blue Dubs, Commander J-Tag, I'm losing it already, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dr. Larks, Welcome to the Fold, Emergent Jewel, Aaron Lennox, Rose No Studio, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, have a minty New Year's, Jerry's, that's right, super fresh, ultra fresh. I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry. All you want the Slim Jerry's such just imitating. We don't have any other Slim Jerry's. Irish Pirate, top of the morning to you. And to you, friend. Itchy Nuts, just scratch it, bro. A pimp named J. Crisp. Yes, you have to say the whole thing. J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerrismus Barbatus Cervicus. That's like Jerry with a barbed cervix. My Latin is poor. Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Nice, Jerry Evil, Jerry the Smoke Jerry than the other Jerry's, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk. Jerry was a race car driver, but I raced him in a boosted 87 Super and I blew a head gasket. He tried to drive so goddamn fast, that's the point. Jerry, I'm here to plow your snow and also plow your mom. Have at it, I suppose. John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Oh my God, that's my name too. I don't believe it. Simbufa, Judge Jerry, I am the beard. It's a Judge Dredd reference, isn't it? Nice. KJW Kajau, Crowley, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, leader of the Thunder Jerrys, Lady Dix. We also got Jackets Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Jerry 13. He dropped the attic door key in his IHOP pancakes while tripping some one-legged server. Gonna have to wait a little while. Mr. Carrot 797, Mikola Demikiev, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Jerry Steve. Congrats on the marriage. Patron saint of Chicken Nuggies, Saint Jerry, Ramen, Phantom Pies, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Professor Tom Moriarty, Ramtide Lacrimates, Rose, Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Saucy Octopus, Silo Imp, Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Broomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Lieutenant the Police, 10-Ton Monster, The One True Fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts, Treeberg, Viking Jerry. We changed the lock on the attic and felt Marble Jerry chewed through the asbestos and escaped. Be safe, everyone. Will Mags, Comrade Moody, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind, Goose says honk, Naga Viper Sight, Jerry the Cyborg, Saint's Blessing, 2 inches of real alpha male. I'm scared. A normal Jerry. Asbestos, please tell me you're not going to fight the Human Torch, Marble Jerry. Because it's fire retardant. Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom, because Tom and Jerry never get along. Admiral T, Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Babsy Goon, Banished Knight, Barbushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine, Horseradish, Cake Jerry, that's the original different Jerry. California Jerry Girl, hooray! Chevron 7 Lock, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Corporal Admiral Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crib Titties, Cuban Jerry, Define Jerry, Dopamine Dangerous, so dangerous because we're gonna OD, son. Electrical Fanatic, Ghost of Alpha, Heek Not, HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry. There's so many Jerrys, Holy Berry. Or is it Halle Berry, Jerry? What's going on? Hydra Jerry, Jeffrey, my name's Jeffrey, Geralt of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's Weird Apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on. That's all I want, and I've waited for so long. Jerry Aldo Rivera, you check out that mustache. Jerry Bean, yum, Jerry Roxas, yay, Jerry's STI got a new engine, congrats. Jerry role-playing game. Judge, Jerry and Executioner, Kid Marvelous, son of Dude Perfect, King Tom, Kitzikin, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Machia, Cha-Cha-Cha-Chia, CD. Maybe next time. Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, One Leg Jerry, working at IHOP, Origami Cam, QWQ, Ghosty Raptor Art, she's my Jerry Pie, go drink a Mountain Dew with a beard surprise, Sheep Steve, okay Steve, Smitty Warman, Jagerman Jensen, Snary the Snom Jerry, if you didn't know, Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry, tons are relevant all year round, Steve Kelly, the Gaslighting Terry, your keys are right there in the peanut butter, I don't know why you put them there, I was making a sandwich, I don't know what's going on anymore. The Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not. To Infinite Jerry and beyond, definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, is some fishy going on. Yet another imaginative iteration of Jerry. Tom promised Jerry swears. Oh, no, bad Jerry. And Tom, be a good boy, don't swear. It's just facts. So excited to go ahead and look by everybody in the next video. Got it? Cool. Also, thank you to my $1 patrons. Thank you guys all so much for absolutely smashing it on the Patreon. I've been talking to a few of you guys in them DMs after redeeming their rewards, and I think that's really cool. Instead of trying to catch me on Discord, you know, I have a span of time in which I can reply to Patreon messages, which is usually right after the video, at least every couple of days, so yeah, drop me a line if you feel a certain type of way, and I'll be glad to hear from you, as always. Obviously, I do hope some other people will consider joining up on the Patreon, but really, if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow, because really, the views is how my beard stays buttered. We didn't have a whole lot of Neckbeard voice in this episode. That makes me sad. I like dialogue. I could throw the voices in there, but it is what it is. In order to join us again, you'll need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like, I don't know, watch some more ReddX videos. It's a good suggestion. It's always the same suggestion. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.